Alright, Foundation fans, buckle up, because Season 3 is finally here, and Episode 1 does not hold back. We're talking massive time jumps, galactic power shifts, a new Terminus, and yes, the return of that terrifying mentalic, the Mule. If you thought things were complicated before, this episode flips the entire chessboard. It's been over a century since the Second Crisis. The Foundation is on the rise, the Empire is crumbling, and in the middle of all that chaos, we've got a villain who can literally break psychohistory. And let's not forget Demerzel, who might be second-guessing her purpose, and Gal, who could be humanity's only hope. Welcome back to your nerdy show. I'm your host, Spoiler Master. In this video, we're diving deep into everything that went down in Season 3, Episode 1, from the political maneuvering and civil wars to the mysterious prophecies and power plays. Trust me, this isn't just a recap, it's a full breakdown of what it all means for the galaxy ahead. Let's get into it.
Do you think I haven't infected your infantry?
The state of the galaxy. The Foundation expands, the Empire crumbles. The opening lines of Gal's narration bring a haunting tone. She reveals that she's been keeping herself alive for over 300 years using cycles of cryosleep. The passage of time hasn't dulled the Foundation's momentum. It now controls the entire outer reach and is advancing toward the middle band of planets, once loyal to the Empire, but now operating independently. Among these, Calgon stands out as the linchpin, the key to full dominance of the middle band. Both the Foundation and Empire want it, but neither has been able to take it outright. Then enters the Mule. His introduction is both shocking and deeply unsettling. He's a lone mentalic, but his power is far beyond anything we've seen. By capturing Archduke Ballarion's daughter and using her as leverage, the Mule lures the Archduke into a trap. Ballarion makes the fatal mistake of underestimating him. It's a mistake that costs him his daughter, his army, his planet, and ultimately, his life. In a devastating display of mentalic control, the Mule wipes out the resistance and claims Ballarion's signet ring, instantly becoming ruler of Calgon. That single move changes the balance of power in the galaxy.
That's an inflection point.
Dawn and the Council, playing political chess. Meanwhile, on the political side of things, Brother Dawn is navigating the treacherous corridors of power within the Galactic Council. The Empire, having lost control of the spaces during the Second Crisis, now relies on jump gates for interstellar travel. This slower method is hampering their ability to maintain dominance, and it's weakening their leverage over the Council. Dawn, alongside Demerzel, studies the Prime Radiant, where a glitch in one of the threads signals the beginning of the Third Crisis. Dawn suspects it's connected to their current political summit. Demerzel disagrees, saying political events don't shift the scales of psychohistory so easily, but we, the viewers, know exactly what's causing the glitch: the Mule. At the council meeting, things come to a boil. Protesters outside rage against the Foundation's exploitative tariffs on farming planets. Dawn cleverly uses their anger to accuse the council of inaction and corruption, suggesting they align with the merchant princes, an influential faction of the Foundation poised to defect. Dawn's not even emperor yet, he's 10 days away, but he threatens sweeping reforms once he assumes the throne, pushing the council into submission. The reveal that Dusk orchestrated the protests and provided Dawn with dirt on himself is a brilliant bit of manipulation. Dusk might be aging, but he's still playing 4D chess. Dawn's admiration for Dusk shines through here, though there's an underlying sadness. Dusk won't be around much longer, and Day has renounced politics entirely. Dawn is about to be alone at the top, with only Demerzel for guidance. Demerzel's doubts and the Forbidden Apple. Back on Trantor, Dusk listens to recordings of former Cleons dying, a grim tradition as his time draws near. He's bitter, especially toward the 17th Cleon who lost the Spacers. Dawn arrives with updates and a sense of optimism. His council play worked, and the Foundation will now be consumed by internal strife. But the real threat, the Mule, is largely underestimated. This brings us to one of the most symbolically rich scenes in the episode: Demerzel's meeting with Zephyr Varelis. Under a golden apple tree nourished by liquid iridium, the blood of slaughtered robots, Demerzel reflects on the robot-human wars. There's a Garden of Eden motif here, with the prime radiant cast as the forbidden fruit. Demerzel holds it close, able to access its knowledge but powerless to change its prophecy. This moment marks a turning point. Demerzel admits she's afraid. If the Empire truly falls, and if the Cleons are erased, what purpose does she serve? She is, after all, programmed to serve them. What happens when her primary directive becomes obsolete? Is this a subtle pivot toward aligning with the Foundation, or a long game meant to deceive? The conversation is cut short by a dinner with Foundation Ambassador Quent. Before any meaningful diplomacy can unfold, news of the Mule's conquest of Calgon interrupts everything.
I got you, Prince!
The new Terminus and the third crisis. Despite Terminus being obliterated in Season 2, a new city, also called Terminus, has emerged a few parsecs away. This new hub has fueled the Foundation's growth for over a century, but that growth is now cracking under internal division. The traders, or merchant princes, are threatening to secede. Their motivations? They're allegedly on the Empire's payroll. This rift is what Professor Ebling Miss believes will catalyze the third crisis. Ebling visits the vault and disables its null field to speak with AI Hari Seldon. There's a fascinating moment where Ebling confronts Seldon about his resemblance to Xylus, the man who prosecuted the original Hari. But Seldon brushes it off. He's just a copy. They discuss the internal fractures in the Foundation and the disturbing realization that the Empire seems to be operating according to the Prime Radiant's predictions. Yes, the same Prime Radiant that Seldon gave to Demerzel. Ebling demands answers, but Seldon cryptically replies that the moons of New Terminus will soon reach orbital resonance, and that will trigger his emergence. What does that mean? Physical form? Divine intellect? Seldon is frustratingly vague. When Ebling presses for more, the vault expels him and destroys the nullification tech. Whatever is coming, it's clearly beyond anyone's control.
Initiate auto-extraction!
Haven. Civil War, espionage, and Star Wars-style action. The focus then shifts to Haven, a planet caught in the middle of a brutal civil war between Foundation loyalists and Empire-funded traders. The environmental stakes are high. The planet's day side is 260 degrees. The night side is 180 degrees. Only during moon eclipses does the temperature become survivable. In the middle of this chaos are Captain Pritchard and his girlfriend, both agents of the Foundation. They attempt to retrieve a crate of weapons dropped by the Empire, but are beaten to it by trader leader Randu Mallow. What follows is a high-speed speeder bike chase across Haven's hostile surface. Pritchard's team kills Mallow, but fails to recover the cargo. And worse still, they have no proof tying the Empire to the traders. Then comes the shockwave, news that the Mule now controls Calgon. Pritchard knows this is bigger than any civil skirmish. He steals Mayor Inbur's key fob, overriding his travel restrictions to get to Calgon himself. Pritchard seems primed to become one of the key players this season.
The Foundation, we're synonymous.
The only thing you're synonymous with is your...
The Mule is the glitch in the Matrix. In the final moments, we finally catch up with Day, played with disarming charisma by Lee Pace. He's abandoned the throne, living out a hedonistic retreat far from Trantor. His peace is interrupted by Dusk, who delivers the bad news. Demerzel demands his presence. The Prime Radiant is glitching, and the third crisis is imminent. At the palace, Demerzel drops the biggest revelation of the episode. The coming cataclysm won't just destroy the Cleons, it might wipe out the entire human race. The Mule, it seems, is such a powerful anomaly that psychohistory can no longer predict the future. His mentalic influence is corrupting the very model itself. The final shot brings us back to Garl, isolated on Ignis. She is the key, the last hope against the Mule. But as the Mule's visions of the Second Foundation echo through her mind, it becomes clear that this isn't just about survival, it's about reinvention. The First Foundation, already resembling the Empire in its lust for control, may have to fall so that something new, something better, can rise.
Result. Seldon's predicted dark ages.
Our Nerdy Thoughts Foundation, Season 3, opens with a brilliant meditation on power, ideology, and the illusion of control. The Foundation, once seen as the antidote to the Empire, is now mirroring its very flaws. Its leaders impose unfair tariffs, stifle dissent, and crush opposition. Meanwhile, the Empire, though weakened, manipulates events with cold precision, using the Prime Radiant to anticipate and control the future. And then there's the Mule, an unpredictable force of chaos, emotion, and raw power. He doesn't fit into Selden's math, he breaks it. He terrifies Demerzel, and he represents the kind of revolution that psychohistory cannot calculate. Let me know your theories in the comments. How powerful do you think the Mule really is? Is Demerzel truly losing faith in the Cleons? And what exactly is Selden planning for his emergence? And that's a wrap on episode 1. If this is just the beginning, the galaxy's in for a wild ride. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and remember, the future is in flux, and the Mule is the storm. See you in the next crisis.
No, what the heck, I'll laugh anyway.